Yeah, man, Briefing Broccoli TV, man. Hey, look, man, y'all youngins, y'all need to stay y'all ass in school, man. Stay in school, man. Stay away from drugs, man. Get you a job, support your mama, man. Do what you gotta do, man. Point blank period. I'm gone.
This afternoon, we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet.
I say violence is necessary. Violence is a part of America's culture. It is as American as cherry pie. American taught the black people to be violent. We will use that violence to rid ourselves of oppression if necessary. We will be free by any means necessary.
Check your pedigree, can it be so simple that he can't do nothing but hustling the cottage, puffing exotic, with your big getting erotic and moving the product, cause she ain't my bed, she ain't having my pocket, plus the only thing that rules the world is the key, and the only thing that make it so lit is the D. Stop lying, cause ain't nobody make you go and tell, must be part of COINTEL, in the hell you will, might as well pick yourself, this honorable man looking for honorable mention, include the valve to the pipe, increasing attention, indoctrinated with disorders, losing control, all this argument and conflict is getting real old, redundancy and abundance, the enemies among us, pay with your life to get above us. Rest in peace to my dude, man, from all of that time. Antoine Townsend, man. Rest in peace to Derek Eisler, man. Rest in peace to Vaughn the Don Gotti, bro. Yo, rest in peace to all of these people, bro.
Not going to be no killing without killing, just with all due respect. Definitely not going to be any killing without killing, you know. And I would like that to be clear for the record. I understand the fact that we got police in here. I wanted you to be here to understand what I said.
Uncensored hip hop podcast, that shit is off the chain, bro. Really off the chain, man. Y'all know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's really off the chain, man. The dude up for debate, really off the chain, man. Really. Like these platforms, it give you a feeling of like the way people actually feel and think. Not nothing that's made up, make believe, somebody get the lie, make a narrative to make some controversy to get views. I'm talking about organic, like street journalism, like about what it is that's in you and not on you. Like all of those things is that beef and broccoli, man. Let's talk about it. Look, don't nobody care if you got no money. They care if you don't give it to them, or if they can take it from you. But ain't nobody bigging you up, man. The people that be loved so much, man, they be releasing balloons and shit. Motherfuckers be all on t-shirts and stuff. They love you to death. Everybody love this person. They didn't know they was loved that much until they didn't even know they was loved like that. They gonna take you, man. You'll get took. You feel me? Like, it don't even make no sense, bro. Like, really. Like, if you was a person that's liked and popular, you know, by everybody, people always got their eyes on you. Like, somehow, you meet your demise in front of everybody's face. And usually, it is the person that's sitting right beside you that did that to you. That is the craziest thing I ever seen before in my life, man. It's done happened over and over and over and over again, man. Everybody, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Julius Caesar. Like, that was thousands of years ago. Like, motherfucker, the person that got you was right there, yo. It was right there. It's all come from a conflict or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Don't nobody care about nothing that's gonna happen in the future. They just be thinking about what they want at that time. But see, nah, man. You gotta think further than that, man. You gotta have some projection. You know what I'm saying? Perception is what they show you. Like, I feel like Gucci won the battle because it's a battle. It ain't about the music or whatever. It is about the music, but for real, that was a battle. Like, a dude could be better than you and lose a battle. You know what I mean? Like, all day long. Like, if somebody get through adversity and they was a small fish and they standing in front of you like a giant now, you're like, he already won when he walked up in there just for walking up in there to me. So that say that about how I feel about that. But it's a lot of things that's really, really important that need to be talked about right now that no one is trying to hear or talk about. Like, because it's just like you're making up something. You put theory at the end of conspiracy and then make it a lie and stuff like that, right? But whatever, man. Because when you know, and then Pusha said, if you know, you know, and if you know, you don't know, but you know. So bring back the unspoken rules, man. Let's do this, man. Can't have a positive without negative or vice versa. We talk about beef with broccoli TV, man. Whatever you talking about, man.
So what I would like for you to do is go through beef and broccoli again. I actually thought it was in record, and I thought that was a good organic spot because the idea is not just what beef and broccoli is, but it's the perspective that you give it. So a person can only receive what you give them. They can only regurgitate what they have digested, ingested.
Beef and broccoli is the blood is sacrificed, vitamins and nutrients essential to create and maintain life. With the grain being the rice. If you go against the grain, you lose the concept. But with the grain, you have the beef, you have the broccoli, you have the rice, which is a whole meal.
Right. Substance.
Primary instinct of a human to survive is to eat. That's the first thing you want to do as soon as you're born. Even in zombie land, they want to eat.
So now if I had to balance it around that portion of it as far as all of this being essential to nutrition, I would go probably more in the lane of relativity, right? And so
because when you're talking about nutrition, you're talking about it physically,
right, mentally,
and you're talking about it mentally.
Right. So I would go more on the physical basis rather than physical. To me, again, food.
But that's the contrast with it, the beef and the broccoli. Yeah,
correct. So food is a misnomer somewhat. The idea that you have to eat so much in a day to contain a certain amount of energy is a falsity, right? So we'll start there and we'll get rid of that physical portion of it. All right, we'll go straight to the mental.
See, when you break it down, you're breaking it down all the way to the lowest compound, which means that any organism, any piece of matter, anything with atomic structure,
It's subjected to this
it's gonna
format.
eat.
I understand that.
It wanna eat, like instinct. Just
So again, when we can use the terms, and that's always fair. Spells, that's another one we gotta get on.
spells, because if you spell the word, and then you spell
Speaking into existence.
yeah.
So again, the idea behind this being a physical circumstance is that much of a portion of what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
And that's where it starts.
Okay.
That's the tip of the iceberg. That's where we start to re-educate. That's where we start to eat away at the indoctrination.
So the indoctrination is it initially, because it's purely mental initially, We know that it becomes such a physical ailment.
There was some
Right.
twins. There was some twins that they didn't even talk to other people. They just talked to each other. And-
Yeah.
and people thought they were just the closest things in the world, but
Right.
to
They
each
hate
other,
each other.
they hated each other.
Right.
And one willed themselves to die, to sacrifice their self, so the other one could be
live,
free.
have a happy life.
So we
Right.
had this freedom all this time, and some entity told us that we didn't have our freedom, and we relinquished it.
There you go. So the spells again. Exactly why I dove dead into the mental again. So what's taught to you is a certain thing. You end up again. So when you ingest something, it's also what's going to regurgitate. It's going to come back out of you,
And it becomes a part of your DNA memory.
because you're throwing it up on everybody else
so
also.
boom,
So
indoctrination.
So what we are is talking about this being organic, the beef and broccoli.
We're talking about balance.
Right. It's organic because the balance is necessary. The balance is something that's inevitable. It will not go away regardless of what man puts on it.
And it starts with the individual.
Okay. So even though we're working with, say, this cloak of we've been introduced or subdued by whatever you want to call it, right, as far as this ailment that's physically and mentally on us, right? And we're calling it indoctrination, right? It don't take us out of the game, right?
Of course.
So no pain, no gain.
It makes it,
It
be
makes-
that you can't have one without the other. You got to
That's
have
true.
bad to be able to know what good was.
Okay,
And
right.
You see what I'm saying? So therefore, once you gain knowledge of self, your self's origin, you see what I'm saying? It's through nurturing. It's through attention. It's through metaphorical, agricultural type of raising people to understand and know themselves so that they can know what they're capable of. Therefore, another group can't come in and make them turn on each other. You see what I'm saying? Because they know through a balance, beef, broccoli, rice. You see what I'm saying? Through blood and sacrifice, through learning and gaining information as vitamins. Like bottom line is, it's beef and it's motherfucking broccoli, bruh. The strongest link in the chain is the one that knows dying self.
Yeah. To modernize it, it's more of the physical understanding, because the mental part of it is
The mental part to me is,
it's almost baffling to try to deal with.
when I picture it, I picture one of these strong ass specimens of a man, right, locked in a hole right now, and he feared at everybody down the street because he was alright with what he did.
So, but see, that to me is and we're talking about modernizing it. That is what we're talking about. That is the mental lock that's on a person, because so even that picture is something that's been set in our brain. The Mandela effect is basically, again, is the thought that you put in play, and as it plays out, you kind of come to, you know, and you're like, oh, dang, it is. But so, like, again, the physical part is worth more dealing with today, because it's truthfully, it seems like it's the easier aspect of trying to, like you said, breaking it down. The mental part right now is a lot of us are so lost is a bad word, but
We don't want to take accountability. Like we don't want to accept the fact that we may have messed up. See, because when you do that, it's diagnosis, and when you diagnose something, that's when you find out what the problem is.
That's the hardest time to deal with it.
Yes.
Yeah, when you first find out.
So acceptance and like all of these things, we need those in levels to take accountability and begin to rebuild. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So like once we could get everybody to do that, right? Then people can come to the table and have talks they didn't have, or they couldn't have. People can begin to communicate with each other more, so that we can stop killing each other for little crazy stuff, man. Like
so, but again, now we're back into where it is. The physical aspect has you thinking that this is the way I get my win. My survival comes through this, and this is actually so far from the right. But whose fault is it?
It is our own.
So it is our own. We say that as a whole, as an individual. You look at your parents and you look at the people before you and you go, why did you teach me this?
Because you were indoctrinated.
So the thought that you had before was, if you know something is wrong, do you keep doing it wrong?
When you know, you know. And are you going to keep doing what you did when you didn't know?
So, today I like the picture of action figures, niggas that aren't actually in action. It's not necessarily the word of posers, but a lot of people so they stand the character. Doesn't mean they stand the test. You know what I mean? Today it's a viable thing to look like something. I told you, a person in AA told me one day, they said, fake it till you make it. Woo. I told them, yeah.
It didn't feel right, did it?
No. Never to me this fake it
I'm
feel
saying,
right.
but a lot of people
You can't make it, fake
a
it.
lot of people have made an impact
Faking it till they
by
make it.
faking it till they made it, bro. Like,
So I think, again, remember I was talking about the spectrum being way on the left? Like, I think that's what happens when you fake it till you make it. You end up so far left that you can't really get right. You can't really get right.
if you got to the middle, you was good.
Just being in the middle, right, is a balance.
Yeah.
And so that balance means
As
that
long
now
as you made an impact, as long as you spark something in another individual, like really, it's supposed to be like that, though.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough, because nobody starts the race
See,
from
now,
the same stage.
Now, this is what I mean by beef or broccoli. Beef or broccoli is us having this conversation,
Always.
so that we can begin to repair ourselves.
Always. Beef and broccoli is us allowing other people in on the enlightenment.
Yeah.
Beef and broccoli is allowing other people in on the ideas that actually formulate our tomorrows. Like right now, things are in motion that actually, and it's not a we in a selfish way, but we set in play time ago, right? And it all comes to fruition, which again is just the idea of consistency. Consistency takes, it's the opposite of the indoctrination. So what happens is your real knowledge comes from being attached to life. You know what I'm saying?
Experience, period.
Man,
Every day when
you
you
can't
wake
beat
up.
experience.
You know what
You
I'm
know
saying?
You can't.
Every day.
That's some shit you can't even hold to, like,
And if you went back in the house that day and went to sleep
you miss
and woke
an
up
opportunity.
the next morning, no, you may rejuvenated when you went in. When you went in after you finished doing everything you had to do, and then you go in there and you could not wake up the next day. So whatever you did that day before you went to sleep, it was supposed to be done.
I can take that one, but just because we don't know the day when you're not supposed to wake up.
Just because of that,
Yeah.
if you did everything you were supposed to do,
So every day is
it was supposed to be done.
Live
you-
your life.
Yeah. And then when you do that, in turn, other people are able to live theirs.
True.
And that's, to me, is what beef and broccoli is, right?
True.
To extend that, if black leaders continue to aid in the genocidal attempt of America to execute and eliminate black people, then they shall be considered as enemies also of black people.